Do you think classic luxury pieces are boring or uninteresting? I came across a comment saying wearing classic designer pieces from head to toe looks so basic. It got me thinking. At a glance, there is an element of similarity in terms of our luxury handbag collection, the way we dress, and even the things we have on our wish list. A few very common examples of the classic luxury pieces include Hermes Birkin bag, Louis Vuitton Speedy, and Chanel classic flaps. In a way, a luxury item is only classic because there's a continuing demand for it. But sometimes this popularity can take away the novelty of owning this very item, especially when it feels like every other person also has one, such as the Louis Vuitton Speedy. I think there's actually a reason why we like or buy the same things. When you first venture into luxury shopping, you will feel quite unsure about what exactly to spend your money on. This is why we do research, watch videos, and basically trying to get as much information as possible. And seeing classic pieces like the Cartier Love bracelet, Chanel wallet on chain, and Louis Vuitton Neverfull are so popular, we naturally will come across more information about these pieces. And that might steer us into buying something that might not actually be the perfect fit for us. For example, when I was looking for a luxury bracelet, all the information I could find was about the Cartier Love bracelet. There was very little resource about the alternative options such as Bulgari, Chaumet, or Chopard. Eventually, I bought the Cartier Love bracelet, even though deep down I knew the bracelet wouldn't go well with my lifestyle. Now you might ask, why did you buy it then? Well, honestly, I think I felt safe because everyone else was raving about the bracelet, and so it just made me feel like I was making the right decision. So what I'm saying is the online information can be quite skewed, and that can influence the way we shop and spend. I sometimes see this as the compounding effect because now even the new customers will generate reviews, and that will certainly help to further establish the fact that these pieces are indeed classic and timeless. Now, I'm not suggesting there's no need for research. I just think we need to place more focus on what actually complements our own wardrobe. But that sometimes can be very hard to do, especially when you're new to designer shopping and you just need more reassurance before buying anything. I think for a lot of luxury lovers, myself included, buying the so-called classic pieces might seem more appealing, and it might also feel safer because these pieces tend to keep their resale values better. It's basically the law of supply and demand. Now, I would say I personally have quite a practical relationship with my luxury collection. I like to buy pieces that I can use and enjoy. But it is nice to know that if these expensive things don't work out for me, it's not a complete lost cause. So if I happen to like a classic handbag and a more trendy one equally, I will be more inclined to purchase the classic one. Having said that, I personally don't see luxury items as investment, no matter how classic or timeless they are. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy anything just because it's supposedly the classic option. So for example, don't force yourself to buy a Chanel jumbo flap just because the price keeps going up, especially if you know you will never wear the bag or if you think the bag is too heavy for you. I think resale value is an element we should consider, but it should never be the only reason to buy something. And just to put things into context, I've personally sold many classic luxury items from my own collection, and even though a lot of these pieces were in brand new condition, I still lost over £10,000 from selling them. So just a bit of food for thought. The next thing I want to talk about is whether classic luxury items are basic. Now, when more and more people start purchasing the same selection of items, they can become quite a common sight. For example, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, Van Cleef & Arpels Alhambra collection, Hermes H belts, and so on. I feel like social media makes this even more obvious because now everyone kind of knows what everyone else has in their collection. I know this can be quite off-putting for some people, but personally, it doesn't bother me to carry something that's quite common as long as it works well for me. For example, years ago when I purchased my Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier 25, it was already a very popular bag and it was kind of everywhere. But it didn't deter me from buying the bag because I knew the size 25 was perfect for me. And I also love the Damier Ebene canvas because it's so durable and versatile. Let me know if you agree with this, but I think the desire to pursue uniqueness becomes stronger when something costs more. The more expensive an item is, the more we want it to feel special. I guess that's why a special order Hermes Kelly or Birkin bag is so sought after because it is known to be rare and unique. On the other hand, if we look at the more affordable bags, such as the Longchamp Le Plage, which I love by the way, I don't think people are as concerned about seeking individuality or uniqueness. I mean, some people stay away from the Louis Vuitton Neverfull because it's such a common bag, but I've personally not heard anyone say the same thing about the Longchamp Le Plage. In fact, I think there's a common understanding that Longchamp pieces are simple, lightweight, and practical, and there's no reason not to like them. Personally, I don't worry about looking boring or uninteresting. I think as long as the pieces suit our lifestyle and we feel comfortable wearing them, then how other people see us doesn't really matter. At least that's how I see it. I mean, regardless of what kind of fashion trends you embrace, it will always look boring to some people. It really is quite impossible to create a wardrobe that speaks to everyone, so why live your life or dress yourself according to others' opinion? That being said, I do sometimes feel conscious about safety issues when wearing very classic luxury pieces because when something is so recognizable, it can put us in the center of attention for the wrong reason. For example, like I said before, I really like the Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene canvas for its durability, but seeing is such a common feature of Louis Vuitton, it's bound to attract attention. So even though I don't dress to impress, I do pay attention to my personal safety, and that sometimes involves adjusting my outfit or going for the more low-key options depending on where I go and what I do. When I first started shopping for luxury pieces, I was unknowingly being very selective with the brands I would buy from. Honestly, I think I only bought from the very popular brands such as Cartier, Rolex, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes, and you name it. While I still enjoy many classic pieces from these luxury brands, I feel like I'm now more receptive and open to the more contemporary designs and also brands which are less mainstream. I think this comes with time, and a lot of people probably follow the same notion. When we're building a collection, it just feels safer to go for the more well-known pieces. But as time goes by, we figure out our preferences and style, and we are more ready to follow our heart. For example, I used to think if I'm buying diamonds, they have to be from Tiffany & Co. Well, after owning several pieces from Tiffany, I now think diamond pieces from the smaller jewelry brands are just as beautiful. For example, I've been really enjoying my diamond earrings from Idol, which is a sustainable jewelry brand. In terms of handbags, I'm also looking at brands like Louis, Loro Piana, and Valextra. To be honest, I think when we buy the so-called not-so-classic pieces, we might actually be more intentional when making the purchase. I mean, when you know the resale value is not great, you will only buy something if you're sure you will love it for a long time. On the contrary, buying classic pieces might feel safer, but it can also work against you. In the past, I used to buy a lot of classic luxury items, thinking, well, if I don't use them, I can always sell them. So my point is, even if something is considered trendy or contemporary by society or the luxury community, if this item goes well with your personality and your lifestyle, then it really is classic for your own wardrobe. I welcome everyone to share your thoughts about this topic. Do you think classic luxury items are basic or boring? And do you think we are all starting to look the same and dress the same? I can't wait to see what everyone says about this. So make sure to share your opinions down below. If you're new here, my name is Eileen, and on this channel, we talk a lot about luxury minimalism and intentional spending. And I'd love for you to join our lovely community. So that's it from me. Until next week, take care and have a nice day.